On Thursday, United States President Barack Obama undertook an extremely compact schedule during his visit to Jamaica. The U.S. president had 5 engagements, which included a sit-down with CARICOM leaders, a visit to Jamaica's War Heroes Memorial, a forum in which he fielded questions from young people, and bilateral talks with Jamaican Prime Minister Portia Simpson Miller. Peter Gay Coombs has the details of President Obama's visit to Jamaica House.
Wednesday evening, the red carpet was rolled out for the 44th President of the United States, Barack Obama's arrival at the Norman Manley International Airport in Jamaica. And after meeting and greeting local and CARICOM dignitaries, he sped off to an unannounced stop at one of Jamaica's most famous tourist hotspots, the Bob Marley Museum on Old Hope Road in St. Andrew, for a tour of the former residence of Jamaican reggae legend Bob Marley.
The quick trip that I made last night to Bob Marley's house was one of the more fun meetings that I've had since I've been president, as a big fan since I was in high school, and is indicative of the incredible spirit of the Jamaican people.
On Thursday, it was all business for the U.S. president. It began with a call on Prime Minister Portia Simpson Miller at Jamaica House in St. Andrew at 9:40 a.m. There, the U.S. president signed the official guest book at Jamaica House. Mr. Obama wrote, quote, "It is a great pleasure to visit Jamaica, known for its beauty and the extraordinary spirit of its people. May the deep and abiding friendship between our nations continue for generations to come," end quote. After that, both leaders exited the press room for a closed-door meeting, following which a press briefing was held. Jamaican Prime Minister Portia Simpson Miller expressed gratitude on behalf of Jamaicans for the assistance provided by the U.S. over the years and told journalists that the country's economic restructuring program, being guided by the IMF, was key to bilateral talks with the U.S. president.
Central to our discussions were the elements of Jamaica's performance under the current extended fund facility with the IMF and the positive outlook for the future. As Jamaica builds on the gains made so far under the program with the fund, we recognize that we renew our commitment to the economic reform program going forward.
For his part, President Obama spoke to the long-standing ties between Jamaica and the United States and his country's support of the island's economic reform program. The U.S. president also addressed energy sustainability and the impact of climate change on Jamaica and the wider Caribbean.
Oftentimes, people of the Caribbean, despite having less resources, are paying significantly higher prices for energy. And if we can lower those costs through the development of clean energy and increased energy efficiency, we could unleash, I think, a whole host of additional investment and growth. And I think there are going to be a whole host of areas where the United States can be helpful. We also address the issue of climate change, which obviously many island nations are most concerned about. And we have a important conference in Paris later this year. We began to discuss how we can cooperate further to deal with this issue that will affect generations of Jamaicans and Americans for years to come.
Now, with Jamaica having one of the highest electricity rates in the Caribbean, it was apt that the Jamaican Prime Minister announced that a statement of intent has been signed between the island's Minister of Energy, Philip Polwell, and his U.S. counterpart to pursue the development of renewable energy and exchange energy technology.
Through this statement of intent, we aim to encourage increased bilateral trade, boost the development of emerging technologies and industries, and pave the way for future innovation in energy-related fields.
Since Jamaica is a close ally of neighboring Cuba, Prime Minister Portia Simpson Miller commended President Barack Obama for his re-engagement of the Spanish-speaking nation after more than 50 years of gridlock.
I want to thank the President of the United States for action taken in terms of Cuba, and to say to the President, we're very happy, and to say to you, Mr. President, you are on the right side of history.
Now pressed by journalists about Cuba's removal from the list of countries designated as government sponsors of terrorism, President Obama said a review has been completed by the Department of State, but the recommendation hasn't been provided to him as yet.
Throughout this process, our emphasis has been on the facts. So we want to make sure that, given that this is a powerful tool to isolate those countries that genuinely do support terrorism, that when we make those designations, we've got strong evidence that, in fact, that's the case. And as circumstances change, then that list will change as well.
On the issue of re-establishing embassies in both Cuba and the United States, President Obama stated that he believes much progress will be made in the new year, but he does not expect the re-engagement of ties with Cuba to be entirely smooth sailing.
I do think that we'll be in a position to move forward on the opening of embassies in respective countries. There are details and negotiations around that. Cuba has moved forward in the negotiations that they've had with our State Department, consistent with what we announced back in December. There will still be significant differences given their system of government, given their positions on some of the issues in the region.
Peter Gay Coombs for CEEN Caribbean News.
And President Obama said farewell to Jamaica on Thursday. He departed the island at approximately 5:20 p.m. from the Norman Mann International Airport in Kingston, Jamaica. Prime Minister Portia Simpson Miller, as well as other dignitaries, was on hand to bid him goodbye. And we will have a more comprehensive roundup of President Obama's departure in subsequent newscasts.